Hi, everyone. Welcome to the CEO group conversation. And John, thanks for putting in the first question. Want to verbalize it? John, if you're speaking, we can't hear you. But he's not in the call. So, Stephanie, can you verbalize?
Sure. Is there a handbook page where we can read about the new process for tracking and reporting on these important cross-functional initiatives?
That's a good point. We started that list last week at the e-group offsite. So it's not in the handbook yet, although we should work handbook first, but we haven't. So maybe we can add a paragraph at the bottom of the work group page to say, hey, these are the top 11 cross-functional initiatives list. You can find it. If you work at GitLab, you can find it by searching in Google Drive for XYZ. And maybe the shadow story, maybe you can take that on.
Yeah, sure thing.
It looks like the next question is from Amanda, who is not on the call. And this is not a public question, so I will be switching this to private after. Her question was regarding slide 6.
So let's hold on that question then, if it's a private one.
Okay.
Let's give people a chance to ask public questions, and please be aware, you don't have to have studied all the materials to ask a question. It's okay if you ask something that is in the materials, and of course, as usual, it's okay to ask about something that isn't in the materials.
Hey, Sid. I had a question regarding slide 15, the key result of developing a strategy for growing to 1,000 contributors per month. In that strategy, are we doing anything from a evaluation to assess where it's easy to contribute versus difficult to contribute, and also identify ripe areas with little investment, where if we put a little investment in, they would be great attractive places to contribute? One of the things that comes immediately to mind for me is all the language specific, runtime specific capabilities for package registries or security tooling.
Yeah, thanks for that. That's a good insight, that it's easier to contribute some things than others. The first example you gave of the package registry is near and dear to my heart. We went from having every contributor figure it out to having more of a standardized format to make it easier. In the package registry, we have a list of package formats we aspire to support, basically what JFrog Artifactory already supports. And we link to the relevant issues and sometimes even to the merge request that's being done. One thing that might be happening there is that people are holding back because they see other people are working on it. Of course, when you want something, it's natural, hey, someone else is doing it, let's not focus here. But I think it can also lead to inaction sometimes. And we should consider things like an office hours or something else to make sure that those people are at least connected and have an easy way to access the team. Yeah, I agree. Some areas of GitLab are easy to contribute to, and of course, we should make it as easy as possible, and also steer people towards stuff that's relatively easy to do.
Yeah, I've looked around in our documentation a couple times, and I don't see any place, package registry specific. It would be nice to have, hey, if you want to get started by adding a new language, here are the steps that that people typically follow, and even including one of the callouts of, even if you see this work already going on, don't be afraid to jump in and partner with or go off on your own as well.
That's a good call out. Let's see what the experience is. I just Googled GitLab package registry format or something to that effect. So let's go to the package registry. View packages, build packages, supported packages. Great. Wow, all these are in beta. That's pretty cool. Accepting contributions. So here we say, hey, we're accepting contributions. This is the development documentation. This is the status. This development doc seems pretty tight, as in pretty complete. You think this can be further improved?
Nope. I might have been looking at the security one. That's great.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And it's something near and dear to my heart. So I bugged the team at different points over the last 2 years to further refine this. So I'm really happy where that ended up.
Yeah, looks great.
Also pretty excited to see we have Debian support coming our way. It's awesome. It's in alpha. Thanks for the question. Anything else? And also feel free to verbalize if you haven't had time to type it up.
Hey, Sid. Sorry I wasn't here to verbalize my first question. I was a couple minutes late to the meeting, but thanks. I don't know who verbalized that for me, but thanks to whoever did that. I wanted to ask a second question. I know that there's been a survey going around about group conversations and participation in these meetings. I was just curious, if you had any thoughts on how we can make group conversations more impactful for the team. To me, I think they're one of the things that's really unique and special about GitLab, but I love having visibility into what's going on across the organization. And I think in a remote company, it's a great way to do that. But I have noticed like the attendance, sometimes is a little bit low. And then, the number of questions, seems to be kind of trending down over time. And I'm wondering if there are things we can do to kind of change the culture and make the conversations more robust.
Yep. For sure, we should stop moving the times around because every time we do that, attendance drops. But one thing we're looking at, and Brian is helping with that, is that there's a tendency, because you have slides, to just, when you make the video, just walk through your slides. And that leads to a pretty generic and uninteresting talk track. So first of all, we might switch up the order of the slides and do OKRs first and key metrics second, because the OKR should be where the action is. Second thing might be that we constrain the video to just the most important subject. Just don't present, if you're going to present a deck, present, like, the goal is not to have a slide about, well, it's nice that there's a slide with every metric and every OKR, but there must be one thing that's most important and most top of mind, and that's happening. Present a few slides about that, and don't walk through like every single metric that's available. It's great to have those slides, but that should not be our focus. And same for the key meetings. Like, let's focus our energy on the stuff that's important, urgent, other people can help with, and let's not peanut butter our attention across every single thing. So that's one change we're looking at. And it's similar to, for example, in a board meeting. In a board meeting, we also say these are the key discussion areas. So here's where we should focus our attention. And we might have one key discussion topic per key meeting, and probably with the key meeting being that, and some extra slides being added about that, and with the video being about that, and probably also the group conversation will focus there a bit more and go more in depth.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Thanks. Cool, Stephanie. I think we can go to private stream.
Perfect. So this question is from Amanda Rueda regarding slide 16, ROI of free SaaS users. What plans do we have to balance this cost? I'm aware of work we are doing to limit free storage.
Stephanie, sorry, I thought we would stop the public stream and start a new one. Did you do